Is going to culinary school online worth it? Well, in this video, I'm going to provide the pros and cons of going to culinary school exclusively online on this episode of Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jimmy here with The Other Chef. On this channel, we talk about the food service industry. We also do some product and food demos, as well as check out some of the eats and drinks in the local areas. So if you're interested in some of those topics, consider subscribing. So in the beginning of my YouTube channel career, my very first video was, is going to culinary school worth it? And if you want to see that horribly made, poorly lit video, check out the link above here. But in all seriousness though, now since we're in this new normal of the pandemic, and also hopefully that the economies are opening up slowly, a lot of people have been asking, is going to culinary school exclusively online a good option instead of going to a traditional 2-year or a 4-year or vocational program? Well, I'm going to give you 3 pros and 3 cons on what I interpret going to culinary school exclusively online would be like. So let's get into the list. Number 1, the convenience of being at home in your own kitchen. When I first went to culinary school in a unfamiliar kitchen, unfamiliar territory and whatnot, it was a struggle in the beginning because you didn't know where everything was. But after repetitive repetition and understanding where everything was, where everything was stored, where your classrooms were and everything, it was actually a very enjoyable experience because not only you are taking ownership of the kitchen, but also the classroom and the common areas in culinary school. But in regards to the convenience at home, this might be a very good pro for a lot of people who are comfortable with their setting at home, their kitchen. They know where everything is. They know which pot and pan to use because of the particular application. And also they have their tools, i.e. their knives, already in place. Number 2, the streamlined access to all of your courses and all of your coursework. I think this is something that culinary school online exclusively is a huge benefit because most programs on the online side would have already tested what programs are successful and what types of media are successful. Obviously, you'll probably see a lot of chefs or instructors who are doing this in front of a camera with multiple angles so that people can actually see what is actually being executed in the lesson. And number 3, access to your teachers and your instructors. I think this is a very good thing too, because when I went through culinary school, we would probably get a response back in 1 to 2 days, but my school was only 1 day a week. So that was not a good turnaround in regards to getting support. However, on the online side, you will probably get a response in less than 8 hours or so, based on the websites that I have seen online, because a lot of these chefs, they're working in completely different schedules. They're, helping students out in different times of the day. You have to remember, culinary school online can be in any time zone or any part of the world for that matter. Okay, so now since the pros have been mentioned, which are really good ones, I personally think, here are some cons. And I think this is what really separates going to culinary school online or going to culinary school at a traditional school setting is going to separate itself. Number 1, the hidden cost. Now, all these culinary programs online, they have a cost ranging from $25,000 up to as high as $64,000 if you want to go to a 4-year university or a 2-year institution or even a vocational setting. But the thing is, they don't talk about the hidden costs. For example, if you never had a computer, now you have to buy one. to be able to access all the online material. Number two, now you have to pay for internet, because let's face it, there's some people out there that still don't even have access to common internet. And that is the truth, especially low income families. The other hidden cost that nobody mentions about culinary school is that now you have to buy your own product. You have to buy your own food. You're going to have to buy some specific equipment if you don't have it. And most importantly, if you mess up, you might have to do that lesson again. I remember a good friend of mine, she was struggling to make the perfect French omelet, which is basically a trifold omelet with literally no brown or caramelization at all. And she went through literally 1 case of eggs, which is 15 dozen of eggs, to get it right. And you know what happened in relation to that story? She was using the wrong pan. She was supposed to use a non-stick sloped pan to be able to create not only the non-browning of the omelet, but also to make that perfect trifold. And once she got the right pan that I recommended for her, she nailed the eggs in probably 3 or 4 tries. So the other hidden cost is also not only just food, but equipment that is very essential for your task and for your lesson. Number 2, culinary school is meant to be a hands-on 5 senses experience. And what I mean by that is, though culinary school online, you will be able to visually see it, but you won't be able to touch the product. You won't be able to smell the product. You won't be able to taste the product, and you won't be able to hear the sounds and all of that. Now, you will be able to do that in your own kitchen, but me personally, as a visual learner, I want to see it done by a professional, like in living color, live in front of me, so that I can take notes, taste it, smell it, feel it, etc. So I think going to culinary school online is a good opportunity, but I still prefer the hands-on physical campus version of going to culinary school. And number 3, and I think this is probably the most important one, lack of real-world experience. Look guys, I get it. We're in the middle of a pandemic. It's really hard to be able to find a job right now or to be able to work in the kitchen. But once this settles down, would you hire a culinary student that just studied online and got their degree and all their certifications and all that? To me, I would be a little timid because of the fact that you have no experience, even though a lot of these programs say, oh, they go through an internship. Let's be very real, everybody. An internship usually lasts maybe 2 months, at the most 3 months, and you're doing very basic things, like stuff that other cooks don't want to do. For example, like peeling potatoes, doing all this prep work, chopping onions, making stocks and sauces. That might be great in the beginning for someone that's learning about being in culinary school and learning your craft in an actual real life kitchen versus a controlled environment. But to me, when I see 2 different resumes in front of me, if I see that this person has over 2,000 hours of apprenticeship hours working under these chefs and have a college degree, versus someone who has a college degree but from an online program and only did a 2-month internship, chances are I'm probably going to hire that person that has the apprenticeship experience. And that's just the way it is. I know a lot of people will probably get upset with what I just said, but it is the clear fact. If I want to save money as a business owner, I don't want to reteach stuff that should have been already learned and applied in culinary school when I can have someone ready to work in a station if I train them in like a week or so. So I think the lack of experience of going through a real life environment versus going to school just exclusively online to get the knowledge is different. So hopefully those are some great ideas on what I think culinary school online should be. I know there's a lot of pros and cons, but for me, in my opinion, if you were able to go to a physical, affordable culinary school on campus, I would highly suggest you guys do that. On the flip side, if you want to go to culinary school online, but you are already working in the industry, which is something that I mentioned in my previous video, that would be something that I would highly recommend, because now you still will be able to work on the things that you're learning in school online, but you're also applying it in your real life kitchen environment. Now, online culinary school might be a great option for someone that wants to be their own boss, wants to start their own little business, and want to get the fundamentals of how to do things. Because let's face it, there's a lot of people, including myself once upon a time, that had to do a career change from one industry to another, and it's a very tough adjustment for some people who are already set in their ways, or they're like, well, I'd rather just work for myself in the industry in whatever I do. So hopefully those are some good tips and insights of what I think going to culinary school online would be. Hey, thanks for watching. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell for notifications on future content on this channel. Some great news on the side though. I have now secured a little kitchen setup in my residence in New Orleans, Louisiana, so there will be a lot of cooking demos coming up. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.